Hello parents, this is Miss McCray. I wanted to give you an update on our homework folder for the second quarter. This is our first week with our new homework menu, but I just wanted to kind of go over because we have some new students in our room. Yay! So welcome to our room, but I just wanted to go back over the homework folder to kind of give you an update. Again, this will have the week of the homework. This is a quick newsletter of what we're doing in the class. Here's our week spelling words, and with our week spelling words, I normally give them the spelling test on a Monday. So this week was October 22nd through the 26th. We would have the spelling test on October 29th, which would be that Monday. So we would have this week's spelling words here, and we would have the spelling words, the spelling test on the following Monday. It says, please record homework activities from the menu. The menu is located in a sheet protector, and this is our new menu. The previous menu had a lot more boxes. I've condensed the boxes and the points. So I just wanted to go over. There's a variety of opportunities for students to practice, whether it's comprehension, spelling, writing, and vocabulary. Right now, looking at some of our results that we've been having in the class, our students have rocked the language standards. I mean, they have done a phenomenal job with the language standards. That was something that we focused on during our first 9 weeks to make sure that we have those foundational skills, and they did phenomenal. So yay for them. The area of focus across the board for our class is comprehension. They are struggling with comprehension, so I modified the menu to make sure that I hit the areas that we need to focus on. So our homework is going to be good for practice. Again, I know some of our students for practicing spelling, for kinesthetic spelling, using their bodies to spell out words, staircase spelling. We have Wordville. They can go on. They can play some spelling and vocabulary games. And if you have Play-Doh at home, they can actually use the Play-Doh to spell out their words. In our second row, we have where they can write their words, printed, cursive, or and in color, in any color they want. They can be festive if they want with color, just getting them to practice it in a different way instead of just writing it the same way. They can use super sentences where they write using at least 2 of the spelling words from that spelling list, which we saw here. And I've seen some very creative sentences lately in the homework, so very good. I'm excited about that. Make sure the word is underlined and highlighted so when I go through and I can clearly see that they're trying to use that word. Okay. Many of them should have independent reading book in their book bag from the Media Center, and most of their books are fiction. I have a few students who have decided to read nonfiction texts, but most of them have a fiction book, a story book. And if they're reading storybooks at home, have them to summarize the story, including details of the characters, where that character is located, and what is happening with that characters, what events are going on in that story. Vocabulary rich, using the vocabulary.com. This is where I get a lot of those feature words from, just to kind of expose them to different words, and they may want to look up some of their words. They may want to investigate the meanings of that feature word. Sometimes I'll give the meaning of the words, and sometimes I won't. So they'll kind of inquire about what does that word mean. So just for their own, curiosity, to try to figure out words. Another area of focus for us, besides comprehension is huge, but vocabulary is also huge. So the more exposure to vocabulary words, the more exposure that they try to manipulate vocabulary, use the vocabulary, the better results that we'll see. iReady, they can go on to iReady and do one lesson. And I don't want them to just go on and do one lesson at home and say, okay, I'm done, because they'll just kind of zoom through the program and it's not benefiting them. I want them to summarize what they learned from the program. You know, just a quick write, give me a summary explaining what they learned from the iReady lesson. Now, some students will say, oh, I don't know my password. Well, I actually put their passwords. Now, if they're new to our class, they don't have that quite yet. So we have 2 new students, but the rest should have their passwords inside, stuck to their homework folder. So just ask, see, look for their username and password for iReady. For iReady, you can Google Clever, Clever, and kind of space it and put SDHC. Google that, and then it'll it'll pull up the Clever website. It's usually the first link. Click on the link, and then it'll have like the district login, and they'll be familiar with that login page. And you can do that for both iReady as well as Mayan. They can get on iReady from that district page as well as Mayan. Now, Mayan, I want them to read nonfiction books on Mayan. I want them to have exposure to it. But I don't want them just to read the books. I want them to take the quiz. Have them to, if they can do 2, try 2. I'm not, if you don't have time for don't do 2. If you don't have time for the Mayan, then try something else. This menu is flexible. Flashcards, I saw a lot of students, using those flashcards to help them to study for their spelling words, which was great. And then read theory, just giving them another opportunity to practice that comprehension. It really challenges their reading skills, and it's very helpful. So if you notice your child is having some difficulties with their comprehension, have them get onto iReady. Have them to use the read theory. Have them to use the Mayan and take the quiz. Those are the areas that's going to help them with the comprehension questions. Now let's go. Our points have changed. Before it was 14. Now we're at 20 points a week. The way they get their 20 points, they have to complete. They'll have a story. Okay, they'll have a story, and then every day they'll have a task. So Monday is worth 1 point. Tuesday is worth 1 point. Wednesday is worth 1 point. Thursday is worth 1 point. And there's a different activity for them to do every day. They have extra space. If they want to jot down some thoughts, they have some extra space on the back. And then on Fridays, I'm actually going to post up the answers to the questions, and if they check their progress, they'll be able to see how many they got correct. And if they need more help, which I'm hoping that they write down here, because there is a question that they should have, or a word or something that they should have got stumped on, because I didn't go over it in class this week, and I'm waiting to see if they use their box the right way. So just that. So this page is worth 4 points. And then they'll have a little mini quiz using the same text, using the tricking your memory. So this goes with this. So they'll have a little mini quiz here. This page right here is only 5 questions, but it's worth 8 points. So if they do this these 2 pages, this total packet is worth 12 points. And then they're getting their other 8 points from the menu, giving them that choice of how they want to reach their 20 points. Please, please, please help them to remember. I mark in my homework sheet how many points when I go through. I look at what they've placed here, and I look at their points that they're placed. Now, this is part of following directions. They have to put the number of points that they've worked on for me to write it in my book. If they have nothing here, then I write down 0 points. They're doing the work, they're working hard. I want to write the points, but again, this is one of those little things of practicing following directions. So I've been telling them since the beginning, write your homework menu points here. A lot of them have been doing a phenomenal job, and I'm very impressed that, like, I have students having 28 points, 32 points, 40 points. They really have been doing a rock star of a job, writing their points in and going above and beyond. So that's very cool. I really think that's awesome. Just a reminder, please, 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 if they're working really hard and they're trying their best, I want them to make sure they're doing that simple follow directions and writing their points and writing which activity they did in the menu. And for those students that were writing their activities in the menu, I took that into consideration when I redid our menu here. So I want to make sure that we have activities that's engaging for them, that's something that will keep them interested, but also work on those areas to help them to become stronger readers, stronger writers, stronger spellers. So I hope this video answered any questions that you may have had, and have a great evening.